just spit in my face.
I am not worthy. I am not worthy. What's this like for you, Sam? It must be a really big night for all of you at KTLA Channel 5.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Holmes.
And I'm Frank Buckley, and we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the KTLA Morning News. Let's go back to how it all got started.
Eric, Mark, Sam, and Gayle, take us back to the good old days.
Who knew that trying something so unconventional would be so much fun and have such an impact across the country?
And wow, 25 years. I mean, it's just flown by like that.
25 years of countless stories, unforgettable moments, a whole lot of tears, and a lot of laughs.
You know what? It has been quite a ride. Let's go back to the very beginning.
You have a wonderful show. It's very vibrant, very alive.
What are you gonna do when I do this, huh?
You think it's funny? Yeah. You think it's funny?
Now, how about that, Mr. Fluffy? Here we go.
I wasn't working, and my friend Kenny and I would work out every morning and then go to the UCLA Career Center every afternoon and look for jobs.
Originally, when I got the call, I was on vacation. When I got back from vacation, my mailbox was full of these little pink slips. Call this guy at this number. I kind of threw them out, and then eventually I got a call, and the guy said, I was about to give up on you. Why aren't you returning my calls? And I said, who are you? What do you want? I don't want to buy any. And he goes, we want to offer you a job in Los Angeles. I thought I was getting punked by my buddy Haas. I said, Haas, cut it out. Next thing you know, here I am.
Well, I was working in Las Vegas and had no hope of ever leaving there.
Eric Spillman, Eyewitness News 8.
Maybe hoping for a step up. Maybe you can get a job in Phoenix or something like that. That would be a big step. So to come back to LA was like beyond my wildest expectation.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
I remember watching the morning news the first day it came on, and I thought, oh, they've got something here, but they can't fill the time. I'd worked in TV a little bit, but I didn't know a lot about it. And so I figured the person who has that problem is the guy who's working overnight laying out the show. The job is called the line producer. So I set my alarm and I called him at 2 in the morning. And he said, it's unbelievably smart to call me at 2 in the morning. You have no idea how many people call me at 4 in the afternoon when I'm sleeping because I've been up all night. And can you come in tomorrow? And so I came in, I went on, and it seemed to go well, and I thought, boy, I have this. And I didn't realize I would have it for 25 years.
However, this was no holiday for the police. They were busy all weekend long, and so we started out with a kind of a traditional news wheel. I mean, we're doing crime stories and things like that. It was a very straight, serious newscast, and it just did not work. I mean, people weren't watching the first 9 months.
They brought in a new man to run it, a guy named Joel Tater. And Joel Tater essentially took us all aside and in a nice way said, look, you're all going to be fired anyway, so just do whatever you want.
This is it, folks. I got to get these guys breakfast. I'll never hear the end of it. Denny's is just down the street. This could be a pretty wild show in itself, so I don't know what's going to happen over there.
I started laughing during the commercials and going, oh boy. And one time the laughter sort of spilled over on the air. And next thing we knew, the whole thing lightened up.
Let's have a look at what's going on in the weather forecast. Okay, I'm sorry, Monkey.
The thing kept on evolving. Even though our bosses kind of, I still think they go, what are they doing? But it clicked and it caught on.
We do not put on these ridiculous shorts and run around for our health. No one had ever mixed this idea of, the news is straightforward and serious with, hey, good morning, let's try to brighten your morning.
Barbara, I'll give you $5 if you pour your coffee down over the side. Come on, $5 is in it for you. She's doing it. I owe her $5.
First time I'm on live here. People are making mistakes and carrying on. I'm thinking, oh, this is not good. Joel Tater said, welcome to live television. The things that have thrown me off, I've learned to just go with.
Gayle Anderson, oh! Oh!
Backwards! Woo! Flying! There's no other job I know of in all the other places I've worked like this.
25 years. No, I really can't imagine And it's even hard to actually think back that I was somewhere else. I feel like I was born and raised here and my forever home.
Is imitation the sincerest form of flattery? I don't know, but what we started has absolutely been imitated and attempted to be replicated just about everywhere.
I'm proud that we've been an important part of people's lives over a long period of time, and they've lived their lives with us as kind of the background music, and it's tremendous.
That is a classic, Eric Spillman.
This is the greatest.
There's nothing like taking a stroll down memory lane.
And to be reminded of these incredible experiences.
We are so lucky to be able to do this every day.
Oh, you got that so right. But now, let's go to Henry, Ginger, Megan, and Chris and see what's coming up next.
Thanks, guys. I think we all agree that we hit the jackpot when we got the call from KTLA.
But how did we score our dream jobs?
We'll talk about that coming up next.
And what about the OGs, the original members of the KTLA 5 Morning News?
Yeah, that'll be fun to check in with them, so don't go away. We'll have that and more when our celebration continues right after the break.
Harken back to the 80s.
Yes! Chris Schauble, Megan Henderson.
A little hammer time, perhaps?
Henry DiCarlo!
Oh, we've been put in some pretty embarrassing situations over the years.
But just think of all those memories that we've created.
This really doesn't happen anywhere else. That's why KTLA is such a special place.
Yeah, now let's take a look back at this special place, a place that we all dreamed about and how it's become our second home. Serious weather to talk about. Look at the Doppler.
Megan was like, you have to put these lights on.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't argue with me. Thank you. Who's the most sane person on this
I
set?
know.
Let's be honest.
I don't know. The storm's... Oh my God! I can remember my youngest memories of watching television were KTLA because they had Angel games on the station.
The California Angels take on the Minnesota Twins here on Channel 5.
I was always watching Angel games with my father, and then the news would often come on after that. So for me, it was part of growing up.
My dream had always been to come back to Southern California, specifically to be on the KTLA Morning News, because this was a show that I literally grew up watching. He's got hula skills. While many young girls at that time would say, oh, I want to be the next Katie Couric, I seriously wanted to be the next Barbara Beck.
My wife calls, it's like, since when did you become the fat guy on that show? It's the same
He's always
thing.
been.
You've always
The time I got the phone call, someone said, hey, we want you to come in and audition for the KTLA Morning News. And of course, I had to pull over off the 55 freeway, and I said, what?
This is about as geeky as I've seen you get. Like, you're excited.
When I got the call to be a reporter on KTLA, it was kind of a dream come true because I used to work for another station called KTAL. And I always joked when I was at that station that I just loved to switch those last two letters and work at KTLA in Los Angeles.
When I got the call that I'd be joining the KTLA 5 News team, it was like getting the call up. From the minor leagues to the major leagues. Because you do look ridiculous right now, and whereas I look amazing.
Yeah.
I think we clicked because, to Megan's chagrin, Henry and I have very similar senses of humor. We both have families, we both grew up in the 80s.
I can't with these two. They are like being inside of a locker room, the two of them together. A family-friendly, most of the time, locker room. Never gets old.
Wow, look at that.
Awesome. I think we genuinely work because we genuinely love each other. We know that at the end of the day, we can joke around with each other, but we still have each other's back.
Can you outdance a chihuahua?
I'm really proud about what we do here. I love the fact that when I come to work, I feel like there is a connection. I love the fact that I'm building to something that's becoming bigger and better every day.
The KTLA Morning News is fun and family.
Woo, Ginger Chan, you're doing the running man.
And kooky.
You know what, just call me Situation Chan. Oh my gosh, a fight, this is my audition.
It's a place where you own who you are, and KTLA accepts you.
This is a dream job for me.
Russia has come a long way.
This is the private island just off the coast of Puerto Rico.
It has enabled me to travel around the world, so I get to meet with people that are captains of industry, that are changing the world, that are using technology to really change the fabric of our lives. And it's both inspiring, it's interesting.
Here goes Chris. He's doing good.
Here's the thing about working for Channel 5. When you go out into the community, you can feel the love. People come up to me, they stop me, and they say, "We love you guys."
We're a family, you know, and you gotta love that.
We are truly blessed.
Group hug!
Oh, wasn't that sweet?
It was pretty special.
Who could have ever envisioned that format we kind of came up with 25 years ago would really be the secret to success?
Who knew? Yeah, it works, and we get to do what we love every day.
All right, 25 years down, 25 more to go. Yes.
Does that mean I get 25 more years of listening to you guys rant about Lipitor? Oh, that
More staff.
What's your point?
Okay, but before we get to all that, let's talk about what KTLA means to all of us. What do you say? Sure.
The KTLA Morning News is family.
KTLA is home.
The KTLA Morning News is, short of marriage and parenthood, the defining experience of my life.
Hold on to me as we go.
Yeah,
It's like the Three Stooges here. Hey, you recognize my voice, don't you? Frank Buckley, broadcast.
Nice to meet you.
Let me show you.
There.
Shirley MacLaine just happens to be here at LAX.
Oh, there it is. The 10 millionth meal. Favorite part of my job that's made possible by KTLA is being able to get something done for somebody. To hear people call or email me to say, I didn't have the money to get this done, now I got it done. That's the payoff, to be able to get something done for people who can't get it done.
Say, I can't even talk, you got me crying.
Every time I can make that happen, and then it changes somebody else's life, that's huge. That's the payoff.
We can see the extent of the damage and the destruction wrought by last night's rioting.
There's going to be situations that people are going to have to cope with.
Have anything to say? Excuse me, please.
I like being a reporter. I mean, I like finding out about stuff, new stuff, seeing stuff before anyone else does.
We're continuing to follow the news, obviously, from San Bernardino County this morning. I've always been a hard news guy, and the news trumps everything else we do. When there is breaking news, when there is an important story, we're going to make sure that we hit that first. You have new information about the shooter. What do we know?
So this is the situation as we know it today.
We want to ask the questions that you might have at home.
Yeah, I'm standing in a place you don't normally get to stand on. This is the 110 northbound freeway.
That's the great thing about the morning news is we're there for everything. We're there for the big events that have changed the history of Los Angeles, and then also for the lighter moments when, you know, we can bring a smile to people's faces.
Megatron, you going to be able to help out with the weather forecast? Everybody wants to do the weather. There's something about that whole green screen thing.
This is so awesome.
It's gonna be hot all over the place, and a long weekend.
Listen,
people seem to want to just whack me. I don't know what it's up with me, but maybe it's because I stand at the green screen, chroma key, and I'm more accessible. But things have happened to me. Pie in the face, cats falling on my head. It's all part of the gig, and somebody's got to take the fall.
There he is! Mark Kriski, yes!
I think Mark is doing a tremendous job. Any weatherman that can create rain like this is unbelievable.
Hey, look, I am the moral center and the truth center of KTLA.
Come dance with me.
She loved it. She liked it.
I think that you guys absolutely own LA news. I mean, this is just morning news on steroids, and I love it.
It's the Sam Rubin.
You're my favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
And the best, arguably.
Definitely.
KTLA Morning News is this very deep connection that people have with the show, and we're so grateful that they do.
And here's Jennifer Lawrence.
Huffman just fluffed the back of my dress.
Trade places, go ahead.
Yeah, you might as well.
Who's your favorite? People always ask me that. I feel I've met everybody. What's nice about all this, Los Angeles seems like this giant city. The whole thing, to me, feels like a small town.
All right, the last time I saw Amy Adams in Hollywood, we were both at Staples.
This job is one of those where you have those pinch me moments.
You used to skateboard in front of KTLA as a kid.
Yes, I did.
Wow, and look at you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God, you have flawless skin.
This way.
Are you gonna slap me?
Oh, man. Things that I would have never been able to do without, you know, KTLA.
Bonjour, guys. Good morning. Bonjour, Los Angeles. It's a day that will go down in history.
We really do love doing this, and the chemistry that you see on the screen, that's real. Do a snow angel at LAX.
Yeah. Proud that, you know, we've been an important part of people's lives over a long period of time. You just couldn't ask for a more enjoyable, beneficial, fantastic experience.
Cannonball!
Eric Spillman, ladies and gentlemen. That was so perfect because, Eric, you were the one who pulled me aside when I first got here. I was Mr. Serious Journalist from CNN, and Eric said to me, just be yourself.
Lighten up a little.
Lighten up a little bit.
Just go.
And I've tried to take that to
You've done
heart.
it well.
So thank you very much for that.
And I'm blessed to be sitting among news legends. You guys really have taught me so much, and I'm so grateful for it.
You know what? Legends? We'll take it. It's all good. But, you know, speaking of legends, every time I'm out, people always ask, whatever happened to some of the original gang?
Hey, you know what? Coming up on our 25th anniversary special, we catch up with some of our old friends.
I can't believe I wore this. Is it a little bright? Do you think it's a little bright, you guys?
No, we don't think it's bright at all.
No, not at all.
Like the way it looks.
What's amazing is when you look at these clips, it seems like it really wasn't that long ago.
It certainly does seem that way, but boy, since 1991, has technology ever changed?
Oh yeah, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have smartphones. There certainly wasn't any social media, no Facebook, no Twitter, nor Instagram. How did we get the job done?
You know, somehow we did, and we still managed to embrace all this new technology. We love you, technology.
Well, we love social media. It really enables us to keep incredibly close with the audience. And of course, remember our old friends as well.
And we got a chance to catch up with some of those dear friends.
Nice to see you. How are you?
Nice to see you. Good.
Hello.
Look at you.
Don't invade his dance space.
Beautiful to see you. All right, so you were saying, and you've had this fantastic career, but what do people approach you about all the time?
It does not matter what I've done in my career, the longevity of my career. People say, Giselle, I love you on the morning news. I go, I've been off the morning news for a very long time, but I'm so glad you're still watching.
I've never worked for a place that cares about people like this, ever. And it blessed me so much. I don't know how to say it. It was the best 13, 14 years of my life.
How do I put this into words? The KTLA Morning News is my life. It has always been part of me.
There is this uniqueness about the KTLA Morning News and the team. We really are a family.
Bingo! We had no idea what we were creating, what we were starting, the revolution that would take place in morning television. We were just a bunch of kids having a good time, providing news and doing our job as best we could.
Coming out, Bo! Running. Michaela's left. You told me to run.
Did being on the KTLA Morning News change your life?
Oh my goodness, were you kidding me? You know that. Unequivocally. I started out with people giving me very good advice about who to be in television. Be yourself. KTLA not only allowed me to do that, but cemented that into the foundation of who I am as a broadcaster. You will agree, I am mostly the same person on TV as I am off TV. The 1-2 punch between KTLA and CNN is what's allowing me to be able to do this new show.
Let's talk about that. So what's better than having the show called Michaela?
Just saying, as a kid also that struggled with her name when nobody else was named Michaela, it is kind of this full circle moment.
What's the show going to be?
Okay, so the show is going to obviously be news. It's a morning news show, but we're going to do it through sort of a Michaela West Coast filter. We want to make sure that we bring you the people and the passion behind the headlines.
There they are over there, Skycopter 5.
KNX, you're working there. How's
Yeah,
that?
it's awesome. It's a great family environment there too. It's challenging, but it's good. It's great. I have a 10-year-old son, and I got my master's in clinical psychology.
Oh my gosh.
From Azusa Pacific. So
I could use your help.
Yeah, come see. I'm almost licensed.
Are you still playing?
I am.
Yeah.
Playing at the farmer's market Friday night. The girls are still together. I've been playing with Mike a little bit, my son.
Yeah, he plays the drums now.
Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. This is the love of my life right here.
Ah, look at him. That's some nice do. Like to do.
I'm hard on him a little bit, but he's got a good feel.
Ah, you. Stage mom.
Am I?
Let's jump ahead to what you're doing now.
I have a strategic communications firm called Ruiz Strategies, and we work with very large corporations. So think the largest corporations in the world, Shell Oil, BP, Toyota. We help them tell their story. I've also written a book For the legal industry, it's communications, book, content marketing for lawyers. And then I do public speaking. I travel the world and I speak in particular to women entrepreneurs and minority entrepreneurs.
Well, I am back doing mornings again in San Diego. Instead of Carlos and Barbara, it's Carlos and Lisa at KUSI. It's called Good Morning San Diego.
I'm doing a lot of cool things. I've optioned a lot of properties for film because I'm a big reader, as you know, and I started to think, why can't I take my storytelling ability and kind of transfer it? So I did. And I have my interview series, which I love, called Big Shots on LAmagazine.com, and I interview titans of industry. You know, I sit on boards I really care about. I'm very active in politics. I have a lot of interest in what's happening in the world today. You know, you never lose that news kind of sensibility.
A lot of people have been asking about Barbara Beck. What has happened to Barbara Beck? Well, Barbara Beck is doing very well. She lives in Central California. She's a grandmother. She's traveling, and she sends her best to all of you. Do people still come up to you?
Yes. Yes.
What do they say?
They say, oh, you're from the news. Oh, the funniest part is, oh, I just watched you.
I do watch today, and the set's so much more modern. The women are smart and beautiful and fabulous, and there's a billion of them, and you are great. And then there's the staple, the wise man, and my Mark. Give Mark a big kiss for me.
I will.
And you're greater today, too, so.
As you can see, the KTLA Morning News has touched so many people.
It certainly has. We feel so lucky to do this every day, and we'll keep doing it as long as they let us.
And as this celebration comes to an end, we want to say thank you.
Thank you for waking up with us.
Thanks for laughing with us.
For taking this ride with us.
For trusting us.
For sharing your community with us.
Thank you for letting us into your home.
For being there through thick and thin.
Thanks for opening your world to us.
And remember, we do it all for you, the home viewer.
Here's to another 25 years.
Yay!